Hey everyone, welcome to a very special episode of the Step Out and Thrive podcast. We are here at the Charge Syndrome Foundation International Conference, and I found some people that I really want you to connect with because they really know how to step out and thrive. So without further ado, here we go. Hey guys, this is Bethany Boring, and we're back to the Step Out and Thrive podcast, where we are looking for people who are doing amazing things every single day. As always, dare to do more than just survive, step out and thrive. And today, as you can tell by the previous video, I am at the Charge Syndrome Conference. It's amazing. And you know what's amazing? Everybody here is doing just incredible things. Everybody here is stepping out in amazing ways. I found a group here that I want you guys to meet, so I'm going to have you guys meet them. I am going to be on the other side of the camera asking these incredible questions, so you guys can use your imagination about how fabulous and amazing I look. But I want you guys to meet them, and here we go. So enjoy this interview process. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you guys is, who are you, and tell me a little bit about your journey.
Absolutely. We are Adaptive Melodies. We make adaptive music technology and musical instruments for deafblind musicians. We have been at this since 2023, and our first idea was a musical instrument, and then we have since developed adaptive equipment through our wonderful team. So we have recently brought on more people to our board, including a chief technology officer and a chief product officer, and they help us to grow our ideas and foster innovation. Does anybody have
Anything else you guys want to add?
Okay.
Covered a lot.
I would love some of the story. How did you guys come to be? Like, how did this start?
Well, it started with an idea. It started with struggling to work with students who did not know how to access music and had not had access to a music education before. I worked at the Perkins School for the Blind in the DeafBlind program, and they have some wonderful innovations there, but I was just noticing some gaps in the system. Worldwide, you notice gaps in the system, and we wanted to help bridge that gap. We wanted to make music something that everybody can participate in whatever format feels best to them. So I came up with our original idea, which is an instrument, and then Courtney over here quickly followed that by building upon pre-existing ideas and making her own product.
Yes. I invented something called the resonance bench. It takes the same idea as a resonance board, something that has vibration coming through it, and you sit on it, so one person who is playing the instrument or listening to music will be able to sit on this and have vibration feedback through their back or their calves or their feet, and that'll help people process and feel music and know what they're playing or listening to. And it just helps people with different abilities, different sensory needs, be able to process and live through their music.
We quickly, after developing this idea and also, of course, our vibration-based keyboard for deafblind musicians, we brought Donnie on to help us with all of the engineering components and to really take our ideas and build upon them, since Donnie has such a strong foundation in engineering. And maybe Donnie could speak a little bit more towards what that process was like, kind of coming up with something that had never been invented before.
Yeah. Well, we've been through a few rounds of prototyping for the keyboard. At first, we were kind of approaching it like an acoustic stringed instrument, so automating the process of playing basically a large guitar. But we quickly realized that the technological requirements to the goal is a piano, right? The goal is the full experience of a regular piano or keyboard from a accessible perspective, not necessarily a separate piece of assistive technology to allow you to approach music. So the technological constraints to create an 88 key functioning keyboard that used vibration using strings it was a little bit larger scope than we thought would be reasonable or we thought would be able to be kept affordable. So we pivoted to vibration from, like a motor. Right, like you listen to a car revving up, it's very distinct pitches. It's the faster the motor spins, the higher the pitch is. And we've kind of took just that idea and ran with it, and we've been expanding the product since. And yeah.
Awesome. Wow. So I would love to know anything that you guys feel like a struggle. Like there has to be some kind of struggle in your story that you guys had to overcome. So I'd love to hear at least one story about something that you guys had to walk through, that you guys had to overcome, and how you knew, like, you reached that. Like, what was that like when you actually overcome? And you're like, yes, like, we've reached this.
I can think of a few times that we have come up to roadblocks. I think that a couple that come to mind for me are, of course, the financial roadblock of making sure that this is actually affordable. I think that we had to start from a foundation of spending a little bit more money to realize that we needed to start spending less, of course. And Donnie's, of course, been a huge help with that, and our Chief Product Officer, Rose, as well. I can also think of an example with our resonance bench. Something that we are pushing towards is making it collapsible and portable. And I'm sure Courtney can speak a little bit more towards that. But our roadblock in that sense is that we have a little bit of time before this charge conference to really kind of push it towards that, and we have to prioritize other things. And so our next iteration will be foldable, but it kind of took a little bit of troubleshooting to be able to develop that technology. And Courtney was the one who came up with the original design, and we've been through paper models, cardboard models, sketches, prototypes, and we're really finally reaching something after bringing on our Chief Product Officer and having Courtney and everybody else push towards what their vision was, to be able to successfully move forward with that prototype.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what is your dream? Like, when you guys work together, there has to be something that you're just like, yes, when it's like maybe it's a smile on somebody's face that finally gets to tell music. I mean, and I'll tell my story here in a minute, but just the idea of like being able to sit on the cajon that I got to do and be able to make that. So I'm trying to think, there has to be something that you guys can connect with that's like, yes, that is a win for us, and we just love doing it because of like.
Yes. So 2 members of our board are educators or have been in the past. And so we just want to get music out there and have people of all different abilities to be able to play music, because that isn't always a given. And we just want to make it accessible for everyone and to have people learn and have fun. And seeing it from like an educator's perspective, like I want to bring this into schools, into like Perkins School for the Blind would be so lovely, because there's such a large audience of people that would benefit from this here, and just getting it out there and helping as many people as we could feel happy and just have an experience they've never had before is something that I'm really looking forward to with this mission. And also just getting more instruments of more different categories. Right now we have a bench and a piano, but I'm hoping to exercise it in more different instruments later, and that'll be really fun to explore and troubleshoot.
I think for me, coming from a foundation of education, I agree completely with what Courtney said. And pushing a little bit more towards my current field, I love research. And so, of course, I want to take the research that we're doing right now with vibration and push it forward. I think that there are medical benefits to this as well. I think that applying vibration therapies to things like muscle spasms, to behaviors, to things that might help somebody overcome something that they have not found management for in the past is certainly something that I am looking forward to. I think that we have a lot of research on the horizon, and I recall when I was working at Perkins, somebody once asked me, what is your why? And I think that our why is access, and our why is making sure that everybody can enjoy music and benefit from music. Benefit from music in the same ways that somebody with both sight and hearing benefits from music.
I have 2 specific markers of an objective success for us. And they'll both take probably a while, but I want to see music released by a deafblind composer, composed and recorded on our instrument. And I want to see someone become a professional musician who learned how to play piano through our curriculum that we're developing. And I think those will be 2 objective markers that we have succeeded in our mission. And that's what I'm hoping for.
I love that. I love that. So why is it so important to you all to have the deafblind community be able to be a part of music?
Well, I first came into the wonderful world of deafblindness while working at Perkins, and it is something that is amazing. I mean, I really have enjoyed my time learning about individuals with charge and deafblindness in general. And I think that something that is a struggle that I witness and is hard to witness as somebody on the other end is that deafblindness is not a reason that somebody should not have to access something. And that is what we see in this world right now. And so it's so important to me that everybody can access music. I think that there are a lot of really great accessible tools out there for other things such as art, writing, science. There's some amazing science textbooks out there. But there's not an equivalent for music that we have found that really allows somebody who is deafblind to interact with music in the same way that somebody with sight and hearing can. And I think that is the true goal, is that we make it something that doesn't have to be an extra thing. It just is an instrument. It just is an accessible tool. And it's not this extra added thing. It just gets to be marketed towards everyone, and everyone can benefit from it, especially if you're deafblind. Yeah.
I love it. So, wrapping this up here, what is one thing our audience, pretty much everybody, is going through something hard, is going through a challenge, and you guys are really doing something in a space that hasn't been paid before. I always call those as I can't remember this, the idea of taking a four-wheeler and running over a dirt road, but once you do it so many times, it becomes smoother for the people behind you. Mm-hmm. So that's what I see you all doing. So what is one piece of encouragement? It could be a lesson that you guys have learned, it could be a motto, it could be a picture. I'm going to ask each of y'all, so get ready.
Okay.
But each of you guys can answer this. What is one last word of encouragement that you would give to our listeners today?
I think that my one word of encouragement would be that there's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. When there's a will, there's a way. And if we're the ones that have to pave the road so that somebody can access something more easily, that's great with me. That's fine with me. So when there's a will, there's a way. If you want to become a musician, you can become a musician. If you want to learn to play the keyboard or feel music through vibration while sitting on a bench, you can do that. And everybody deserves to be able to do that. So if there's something that you feel that you want or need to do, you can.
I'd say just feeling the space around you. Everything around us has a frequency that you can tap into, and our instruments will help with that. And just taking everything in a positive light, like this beautiful conference room we're in has a lovely pitch to it that just screams positivity, because everyone here is here to support each other. And I really love that. So just take everything in and support everything around you, and just be happy about it, because we're only here for a short time. So
I did crew in high school, and I've had a personal mantra that I got from my coach for a few years, which is keep breathing, keep pumping. And he used it for, longer workouts where we're rowing 20 kilometers. By the end of it, it doesn't feel like I can move at all anymore. But as long as I don't stop and I go as slow as I have to, I'll finish. So, it doesn't matter how hard things get. It doesn't matter how many obstacles there are. As long as you move just as slowly as you can, if you move at all, then you'll be fine.
Thank you. Before we end, tell people how they can find you.
Oh, well, Chief Marketing Officer.
you can find us at adaptivemelodies@gmail.com if you want to contact us. We have a website. It's Adaptive Melodies, and you can just search us there. And we have an Instagram, Adaptive Melodies, so you can get the hint. You just search Adaptive Melodies and you'll find us.
And we have a link tree in our Instagram bio that takes you plenty of places. We have merchandise. We have a survey if you've interacted with our products. We do have a GoFundMe. We have lots of cool links there, so be sure to check those out as well and interact with us. We love to hear from everybody. We love feedback, constructive, all feedback. Please connect. We'd love to hear from you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Bethany.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me for this very special podcast at the Charge Syndrome Foundation Conference. And if you're watching the video right now, you'll see some pictures and videos from the conference that I got to take. And if you guys are interested in checking out more information about Charge Syndrome and kind of my journey with it, you can find it in the links below. And as always, check out more information at bethanyjoy.fyi. Dare to do more than just survive, step out and thrive.